Meghan Markle and Prince Harry may not be as adored in the US as first thought, a royal expert claimed after parts of the American media criticized the couple's New York visit. The Sussexes were thought to be extremely popular in the US, however a royal expert has claimed this may not be the case based on some coverage they received while in New York. Pod Save the Queen is hosted by Ann Gripper and features Daily Mirror royal editor Russell Myers. Mr. Myers referenced New York Post coverage of the couple and said, "I was really interested in what traction this got in the States. The only thing I've seen banding around Twitter was the New York Post taking a swipe at them for rolling up into town with a load of gas-guzzling vehicles, big security detail. I don't think it's got a lot of traction in the United States. Obviously there is an audience for them and we are covering it, but I don't know necessarily whether they are as adored in the United States as we were first thinking." Last week, the New York Post ran a front-page headline about the couple which read, "Clueless California Tourists Visit NYC." On September 27, the publication also noted the couple's decision to return from the Global Citizen Live event in a private jet, despite previously speaking out on climate change. American tabloid Page Six ran a story making the same point. YouGov polling of 1,200 U.S. adults on November 23, 2020 suggested that Harry and Meghan were not as popular in the U.S. as Prince William and Kate, Duchess of Cambridge. The poll found that 63% of U.S. respondents viewed Kate very or somewhat favorably, while Meghan only claimed 57% of favorable support. Meanwhile, William garnered an impressive 66% of support, surpassing his younger brother Harry on 62%. The Queen is also favored over the Sussexes with 68% of Americans viewing her as very or somewhat favorable. Another YouGov poll found that Meghan and Harry's popularity in the US decreased after the Oprah Winfrey interview in March. The survey, which was conducted March 13 to 17 of 1,500 US adults, found that only around 40% of respondents felt personal sympathy for the Sussexes. What's more, Harry's favorability rating dropped by 4% over the previous year and his unfavorability rating rose by 9%. Meghan's favorability rating dropped 3% and her unfavorability rating rose by 10%. Despite having quit the firm and the royal duties that come with it, Mr. Myers also compared Harry and Meghan's New York visit to a royal tour. He said, "It was like a royal tour. There was a full itinerary, the security aspect of it, there was meeting the great and good from the political and activism world." Mr. Myers added that they were talking on the world stage, meeting with the governor and the mayor of New York and then meeting the Deputy Secretary General of the UN. "So it was very full on." Ms. Gripper replied, "They definitely made a statement that we are here and we mean business." To subscribe to Pod Save the Queen, go to your normal podcast provider. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex were in New York last week on a visit which coincided with the UN General Assembly and President Joe Biden's coronavirus summit. In an appearance at the Global Citizen Live concert, Harry and Meghan called for vaccine equity and urged pharmaceutical companies to waive their intellectual property rights on coronavirus vaccines. During the concert aimed to raise awareness for the climate crisis, vaccine inequality and poverty, Harry told the crowd, "We're battling more than the virus alone. This is a battle of misinformation, bureaucracy, lack of transparency and lack of access, and above all, this is a human rights crisis." On September 23, the pair also went to Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan, to visit the 9/11 memorial and pay their respects to those that died in the terrorist attack. Meghan also visited a primary school in Harlem a day later in a bid to promote children's literacy, and read her new children's book The Bench to the class. Harry and Meghan made shockwaves around the world when they stepped down as senior members of the royal family in March last year and moved to California.